It is so good to be back together, Jeff. I cannot believe how much of the road you've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. It is amazing that Jeff just gets in his car, he gets on a plane, and he goes, and goes.
Yeah, May was definitely a month of travel and interactions with people from all over the world. The last major event I was at in May was the ITW International Telecoms Week, and that was in National Harbor in Maryland, and that was really a very insightful for me. I picked up a lot of insights as far as where the state of the business is, particularly vCons. And it's June 2026, and I just have to ask you, if you're watching this video, what is your vCon strategy? Because it's inevitable that virtualized conversations, a standard, is coming out. I believe this year from the IETF. No pressure, guys. But when it does come out, it's going to be on everyone's roadmap in terms of you must support this. And why? Because the era of conversational AI is in front of us, and gaining intelligence from conversations and being able to understand the takeaways has never been more important. If you're a CIO in an organization, you have the responsibility of understanding what's happening inside, outside, and all really the whole flow of it, and the power of having a container and an interoperable standard for conversations will revolutionize where things are at. And at ITW, I was pleasantly surprised to meet a handful of international operators that were not only familiar and intimately familiar with voice AI, but also thinking about vCons and how they're going to use it on a wholesale basis, and how they're going to connect the world with it, and how they're going to be able to help their customers downstream build and provide the infrastructure for next generation services. So it's a nice thing to say and see. And I know that the IETF meeting is taking place, I believe, in July. And sometime after that, before the end of this year, 2026, I believe vCon RFC will come out. And if not, it'll be in 27. But now is the time. If you're a product officer, if you have product responsibilities, you're playing in the voice space, learn about vCons, build vCons. Happy to say that the vCon Foundation is growing. We spoke to a number of prospective members at ITW. And while some of their memberships will not be announced until September or October based on timing of their own businesses, we're growing, and it's an international thing, not just a domestic U.S. or Canadian thing. It's globally. It's in South America. It's in Europe, and that's good. And from a roadshow perspective, after our successful roadshow event we had in New York City on May 13th, I can almost confirm that we'll be in Chicago on August 10th. Perhaps Bentonville, Arkansas the week before on August 5th. And there will be a date in Atlanta. I thought it was going to be in June, probably be in July. We'll see. But we'll also do virtual training, and we'll also do virtual community connections. And there's just a lot of things happening where we're seeing in front of us the evolution of a new voice stack. That if you're building applications and you're a developer, you want to add value. How can you add value, and where is that value? And it turns out to be the vCon enables so much, provides context to the content, provides the ability to verify a conversation took place. If you're in the data business and you're dealing with consent, you're dealing with data management, and you're dealing with user consent, and you're dealing with compliance, also very important, mission critical enablement. And so there's a lot there. A friend of mine, I'm going to put this in the chat. My friend Jennifer Schechter, she writes innovator.news, and she interviews some of the high-end. I mean, her publication is very well written, and she always identifies new trends, new things happening. And I'm very happy to say that last week she discovered the vCon, and she wrote an article. It's an 11-minute read targeting enterprise CIOs and the significance of vCons inside the enterprise. And so this is for large corporations, medium to large corporations, and it's what's next for the enterprise? Total recall. Yes, you heard it here first.
Total recall. Wow.
But the idea of how vCons, the adoption of vCons in the enterprise will revolutionize how enterprises share information. It's a big article. This is the type of article this is an article not about telecom, right? It's targeting the CIO. And this puts us right dead center as a key enabling technology for 2026 and beyond. So if you're doing strategy in the enterprise, you're trying to figure out what should we be watching, you should be watching those 4 letters, VCON, which is a really nice lead in to what I'm working on right now, is curating our voice and conversations on the Net conference taking place in Atlanta, October 13th to the 15th. Growing up, I was a DJ. I used to enjoy being a DJ with music. Perhaps if you give me a chance, I still will be a DJ. But 29 years, I'm also a content DJ. One of the joys I have in life is the mixing and matching of the voices and the content and the flows for conferences. And I really enjoy identifying the people and the messaging, and then finding the way to mix one message into the other and curate and package the content. And so I'm currently right now working on the premixes for our fall event in October. If you go to vonevolution.com, you could see the current details about the event, and we have registrations open right now. And frankly, if you're interested in what's happening in the space and have an opinion, whether you're in telecom, you're in the enterprise software side, you're doing voice AI, or you're just someone who's observing and you'd like to have your voice heard, now is your chance to get my attention to speak. I am actively looking for people. Your opinion is your opinion. I enjoy having people at the event who have differing opinions. Echo chambers, I do my best to avoid those. And what I'm looking for are people who are driving for the future and bringing things forward. And so with our full event, we're going to have developers there. We're going to have leaders of the next generation telecom ecosystem, and we're going to have folks from the AI side that don't know that have very little telecom experience, but they're relying on on the infrastructure for their technology to work well. And it's an international gathering. We have folks already coming in from Europe and from across North America. The early people who said yes, they're already in my premix, if you will. So I'm mixing and matching the content that's taking place in October. And right now, as I go into the summer season, summer doesn't officially hit the Northern Hemisphere till, I guess, right around June 21st, 22nd. It's all about the vCons, and it's about getting the word out and just thinking about where we came from and where we're going. And the thing is, this AI revolution is not disappearing. It is growing in intensity. And that's why I say, what is your vCon strategy? Because now is not a time to keep your head in the sand. It's like when you start to understand that a vCon offers the ability to have the container for a conversation, we can start thinking about things never before practical or possible when it comes to information systems. When we're able to start activating the dark operational data sitting inside the conversations, which we could never before take actions on at scale. It just changes how data flows, how information flows in an organization, between organizations. And so this is a big idea that's going to grow, and the applications we start seeing built and those that build upon those will revolutionize the whole CIO space.
Wow. And Jeff, that's where a lot of you might be asking, well, it's not regulated yet. It's not the point of it's not regulated yet. It actually is required, and you want to be forward moving because your customers instantaneously, right? And Jeff, this happens a lot of times when people say, I will delay my compliance, is that you need to train your customers because they're going to be looking for it. They're going to be asking different questions, and especially your vendors who are going to ask for vendor due diligence, and they're using your tool to then resell to others. They're going to be asking a better question. So you have to get ahead of it.
Well, and in fact, there are people who look at vCons as a compliance tool, and rightfully so, because if you happen to be managing your customer data and you have to deal with GDPR requirements, you have to deal with, FinCEN, you have to deal with HIPAA requirements in the US, the vCon data structure supports compliance. And it's not just a vCon and a conserver, it's companies like JLink that enable the ability to manage the rights of the data owners, and the ability to give consent and redaction, and the ability to withdraw consent. That's all part of the systems that are built using the tools. The vCon itself is a file format. It's up to the application developers to build the applications that use the vCon, and up to the application developers to build the compliance systems that leverage the possibilities of what you can do. Those requirements exist today. Now, there's some organizations using vCons to detect fraud. There's some people using vCons to generate services we never thought about. That's the really nice part about this, is that, if you're a chatbot developer, you can use vCons to become the brains of your chatbot, so that before, when a goldfish has more memory than your chatbot, that might be a sign of an issue. So now when you can make your chatbot more intelligent than a goldfish and offer the ability to offer managed compliance with that, that's a big add. And we're there. I mean, there's companies early that are coming out and building all sorts of applications, doing what should have been intuitively obvious years ago. They're making it happen today. So the vCon ecosystem is a very horizontally driven application. There going to be many places you see vCons inserted. So it's not just one vertical, but it's many verticals across multiple horizons. And that's why the outlook for vCons is pretty broad and revolutionary in the most positive stance, and disruptive to people who are ignorant of it. So our goal at the vCon Foundation is to educate, to promote, to evangelize the use of vCons in business, and encourage people to build next generation services that that in the past couldn't be done and now can happen.
But Jeff, I think at the end of the day, right, the main goal is to be better, not because of technology, but because we're trying to help train the human side of all of the breaches and the risk, and mitigate these things at a level where we're trying to be better at what we're currently doing, because we all can be better at this.
Right, but we're only as good as the technology we rely on, and all the people that we have. Right, our intentions could be positive, but we have to follow through, and we certainly need to be able to take the proper actions necessary. And a lot of folks who have the burden of dealing with regulatory compliance used to be able to say, "There's no technology out there that enables us to be compliant." And the thing is, vCons with JLink and SCID and that infrastructure for compliance, you technically can deliver things, and we're at the infancy of these compliance systems evolving. And I do believe that we will find vCons showing up all over the place, and the ability to use and leverage conversations as assets, as memories for business, so that when a conversation happens, it just doesn't fade. It sits there and lingers forever. And yes, your enterprise can have total recall of everything that's ever been said, everything that you will say, and everything anyone in the future says. It's all there waiting to be harvested. And let's see what happens from that.
Thank you. Everyone, Vaughn Evolution is where you can register for our upcoming October event. Also, it's a place where you can learn more about opportunities to be a sponsor, to get to know our community. And then, of course, directly with Jeff, you can reach out and connect about not only what you can do, not only in our community, but more importantly, what your organization might be trying to scratch your head on and saying, well, Jeff, I need your help to navigate through what this compliance looks like. Consult and help us navigate what our tools should be doing, and even better. So, Jeff, what's another way for them to reach out to you?
There's something called email. I did not invent it, but if you were to email Jeff, that's Jeff at pulver.com, pulver.com, you could find it will show up in my inbox, and I probably will reply. You just need a snappy subject.
Oh, I love that. Oh, also, guys, you can reach out on LinkedIn. He's always on LinkedIn. He's definitely reachable. He loves to connect with people and just have a conversation about maybe what some of your stresses are, maybe some of your worries. And maybe for some of you, you don't want to look like the guy that doesn't know what's going on. You just need someone to explain what a vCon is. And that's the best way to connect with Jeff, just asking those questions.
That's true. Well, look, I look forward to catching up on the road. And I know you're heading over to Cisco Live. I hope you have a great show this week. I am going to be heading over to my couch and just relaxing for a little bit. And I'll see you again next week, I hope.
Yes. Thanks so much, Jeff. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.